Sound selection can improve your songwriting, your mixing, and your mastering if you focus on it. And in today's video, I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys into what you want to look for when you're picking sounds, because the art of sound selection is literally the art of picking the right sounds. Now, what I've done is I've gone onto Splice and I've picked a vocal.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold.
So when it comes to sound selection, the first important thing is the vibe. You know, what kind of vibe are we trying to portray? What kind, are we doing piano house? Are we doing DMB? Are we doing liquid DMB? Are we doing melodic? Once that question is answered, a new array of sounds becomes available for you to use. Looking at this vocal, I want to see what frequencies is it taking up.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope.
And we can see that it's very mid-heavy. Not a lot of highs on it, so we can agree that the mid part of it is going to be super important to respect. Where in the stereo image does the vocal land? Where in my landscape does it land? Does it land in the center? Or does it land in the sides? Is it pan left? Is it pan right? Those are questions you ask before you pick a sound. I'm going to want a bass that isn't loud, because watch what happens if I go with a loud bass on this.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold.
The vibe is lost, okay? Now watch what happens if I just implement a very basic filter to remove the lows on this Reese.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold.
One of the things you can do is, if you don't know, is you go on Spotify, you look at Mint, you look at the playlist, you look at your favorite artists, and or in the genre that you're making, and you start going, what's the sounds they're using? How can I get them? And you follow that sort of as a blueprint. And as you get better, you will be able to you won't need to do that as much anymore.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope and go through the dark.
I want to spice this area up, okay? And this is the art of sound selection. Well, I can come in with a pad, I can come in with an ARP. This is where creativity starts to kind of take shape. I already know that my low frequencies are taken up by a Reese, so what's left is the mid highs and the highs.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope and go. Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope and go through the
See
lost in the
if it's invading the space of the vocal. Now, if it is, this is where sound selection makes this easier, because all I really need to do is
lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope and go through.
the other thing I can also do is I can also use mid-side EQ, MS, and I know the vocals down the center because I'm studying sound selection. I know frequency and stereo image are very important, and I can make way for it there without sacrificing the side signal of this pad.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold.
Notice how when I put these chords here, it doesn't really work well.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars
The vocal gets lost. Let's make the sauce quieter.
lost in the ocean, lost in the ocean, led by the stars.
Let's sidechain it real quick with some of the elements. In order to do that with the loop, I'm going to use this low end feature here. Cut everything above the loop coming into the compressor, so only the beat makes it work. Here we go. Dull and boring because the vibe is not right, which is the first step of sound selection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a transgate to this just to kind of get a little funky fun with it.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope and go through the dark.
As you can see, it's not really vibing well because we're not respecting the vocal. So what I'm going to do is maybe put this higher up.
Lost in the ocean, led by the stars behold. On to hope and go through the
Ear candy. So now we're going to add delay. Let's cut the vocal up like this so that we can make room for another element to come in. Again, sound selection. In order to have new stuff come in, we have to remove sounds as well so that we can select new sounds. A main melody could come in, or we could maybe do something with the vocal chops or something. But again, we remove the vocal, and that allows for new sound selection to occur. Remember, when we're picking a sound now, what is the vibe? Well, I think we went more garagey, drum and bassy, so we can go with a sound bank that is in those ways. So we go Odyssey. From there, as I hear the song, what's taken up? Well, the low end, the pads are very wide, so the width is taken up. So I need a good, strong monophonic lead, a lead down the center that I can use. it down this one time just to back to synth. And then we're going to go back to the drum loop with the bass and the vocal one more time. I mean, if the vocal wasn't a sample pack vocal, this is where we would come in with other stuff, like a verse. Now here, maybe we can like start to amp it up differently, add some other sounds, maybe an ARP would be nice. And again, we understand where the vocal is, down the center. Now we don't have pads that are wide, so if I'm intending on playing this ARP only in this section of the song, then I can use a wide ARP. Before I end this video, I want to show you guys examples of what I meant by being wide and being centered. So in this sound in particular, this is what we would call a wide sound because it's sounding like here. On headphones, you'll hear it here, and on speakers, you'll hear it more like here. More than one unison, and you don't go into global and turn this down, you have width, okay, detunement. But if I move this down and I have one voice, this is center. So hopefully in this quick example, you guys saw how it's very important for you to respect the space of your sounds and pick sounds that work well together. And the way you do that is by looking at the frequency, at the stereo image, and most importantly, the vibe. What kind of vibe are you trying to portray? Are you trying to be dark and like mysterious, or are you trying to be loud and let's go? Other than that, hopefully this video shines some light on sound selection. I hope it helps in any way or form, and you guys have a great rest of your day.